Hello and welcome back to match number 2. As you can see, this time the deck list is up on the side and it updates live during the match, so you can see which card I already drew and which are already out. Okay, first thing first, mulligan. Defender of Argus can go back and Frost Elemental. We don't have the coin, so we want to have our early removal and our early minions to get ahead on the board. This looks okay. We have a turn 2 play, a turn 3 and a turn 4, so we're fine with that. Obviously we don't have a turn 1, so we just end it here. Okay. Sometimes I'm taking a little bit longer because I'm talking to the stream and whatnot, but if it gets too much I can speed up the video a little bit. Okay. Our opponent doesn't use the coin and we stick to our plan, playing Bledson Raptor, and I've already pointed out what my ideal turn 2 and turn 3 and turn 4 would be. Frostbolt, not all that surprising, it's very common removal, but it's a 1-for-1, so we're fine with that. Next up we have the Harvest Golem, and now we see how much he can take. Okay, Water Elemental. Water Elemental is a tough minion here, but we don't have any option. We have 4 Gnomish Inventors and no other play other than just daggering up, and dagger up is not a great option here. And there's no value in just hitting the Water Elemental right away, because he probably will trade anyway. So we might as well deal 2 damage to his face and hope that it adds up over time. Most of the time it's better to just trade, but in this case it's not. Okay. He doesn't want to trade, or not with the minion, he trades with the Frostbolt and the Elfin Archer. Okay. Now we have some options. We can Zombie Chow, Eviscerate and hit the Water Elemental, and that would leave us with a 2-1, him dead, and we can dagger, but we can't use the dagger to kill the 1-1, so that leaves him with 5 mana and he can just ping our 2-1, has a 1-1 out, and then has 3 mana to play whatever he likes, so he gets pretty good head start on the board. And the other option is to play Frostwolf Warlord here. Frostwolf Warlord will be at 5-5 and he has to use everything. He has to trade both minion into it and use the hero power to deal with it, and after that we can either trade our 2-4 into it, or we can dagger and kill off the Water Elemental that way. So it's our best option here. And we kill off the 1-1 because it's basically for free. He can now push the Water Elemental into it, but then we are able to kill the Water Elemental the turn after, and so on. And also we are at turn 6, so whatever he now plays we can freeze and stall for 1 turn and concentrate on the Water Elemental. So that's probably the best course of action here. Okay. Now again we have some options. We have 6 mana, so we can do Gnomish Inventor and Dagger, which is not that exciting. We can Frost Elemental and freeze one of the minions and trade as we please. If it comes to trading, I'm willing to give up the 2-3 into the Water Elemental and hitting my 5-5 into the Water Elemental as well, because if I trade the other way, he is able to ping off my Frostwood Warlord right away, and I don't want that. The turn before he played the Twilight Drake instead of a Fireball or a... I'm pausing here for 1 second to explain. The turn before he played the Twilight Drake instead of, for example, Polymorph or what else? Fireball. So he showed that he's not able to deal with a 5 minion. So at least that's my thought process behind it. If he had a Fireball, he would probably use it on a 5/5. It's a good target, and he can then kill off my 2/3 and be ahead on board. If he had a Polymorph, he would probably do the same thing. So I think if I can play another big minion, it gets even tougher for him. So I do that. Okay. For our next turn, we have some options already. We can Zombie Chow, Gnomish Inventor plus Dagger, or Dagger, Blade Fury, and Zombie Chow. We have some options. We can play our removal or just play a minion as we please. Okay. We get the Senjin as well, so I want to remove the 4/5. For that I need Eviscerate and a Dagger, and the only way I can play all of it, it costs 5 mana, so, or 4 mana, Eviscerate and Dagger, and to combo it out I only have the Zombie Chow, so I rather play that instead of just leaving him with 1 health and maybe kill it off next turn, because that play is very dangerous. If you, for example, if we had sorry, if we had Sentient here or Gnomish Invented and then Eviscerated down to a 2/1, 4/1, he might be able to heal it back up, and then we would have just wasted our Eviscerate. So you don't want to damage a minion, you just want it to kill it right away, because you don't want your opponent to have the option to heal it back up and then trade again. So instead of being mana efficient here or being more mana efficient, I choose to clear the board, and we have a pretty good board for now. We are ahead 1 card. We have 2 in play, 4 in hand. He has a total of 5, and yeah, of course he can play Flame Strike here, but yeah, that's something we can't avoid at that place. Okay, we see what he does here. Okay, he plays Sunwalker, which is not all that great, because it's a very tough minion to deal with. So we now have the options. We can hit it with the Zombie Chow, hit it with the Dagger and combo out Eviscerate. That will cost us 6 mana, and we can re-Dagger. If we want to combo it out, we would probably use the Gnomish Inventor or the Sentient Shieldmaster. Another option is to just hit the Sunwalker and trade our 5/3 into it. It's then a 1/1, which is fine. We are ahead on card, so trading 1/1 is fine. And we are then left with 8 mana. So, and we have good plays for 8 mana. Gnomish Inventor and Sentient Shieldmaster are just fine here. So I would rather do that and start out with the Gnomish Inventor. If I don't like what I see, I can, or if it changes my course of action, I can then adapt, and I'm then still able to hit it with the zombie and throw in my Eviscerate if I want to, but then it would be a 2/1, which I want to avoid. So Deadly Poison doesn't change anything, because we still have to ping off the shield first. So we do that, trade in, and play the Senjin, because if he has Flame Strike we want to be safe against it, or somewhat safe. It leaves us with a 3-1, which is not ideal, but it leaves us with something. If we play Gnomish Inventor here, he can just right out clear the board, and that's not what we want. Okay, now he's taking his time. Sorcerer's Apprentice, so there might be a Flame Strike coming. And it's a blizzard that time, so all of our minions survived, but they're all frozen. Okay, now we have some options. The mana efficient options are Stormwind Champion and Dagger, or Stormwind Champion and Eviscerate, or we could play the Gnomish Inventor, Deadly Poison, Dagger and Blade Fury if we want to, but that would be a lot of cards that we play, so, and we don't need to throw out our cards. We want to keep them as damage if we need it. But Sorcerer's Apprentice is now able to trade with the 3/3, so we kind of want to remove that. We are ahead on cards. I'm now checking his last play, and I realized that he had 6 manas, and a Flame Strike would have cost him 6 manas that turn. So in my eyes my board is pretty much safe against Flame Strike, and if I play the Stormwind Champion it's then again safe against another blizzard, so I do that play. Now only the Zombie Chow would die against it. Against blizzard a second. Okay, we now see that he held on to his Flame Strike, which is kind of surprising, but yeah, there's nothing we can do about it now. We analyzed it, and in my opinion Flame Strike would have been a good play there. He didn't play it for whatever reason, we can't see his hand, but he decided it's better to just use Blizzard. Okay, we draw a card here, and now we can choose between the Frostwolf Warlord or Defender of Argus or Dagger and Deadly Poison, but we want to keep Deadly Poison and Dagger for a scenario where we need it. So it's either one of the two, and I'm rather going with the Defender of Argus because it prevents him from just pinging off our Stormwind Champion, and in that stage of a game where we are both low on cards, the hero power is very important, and if we can take him out of range of the hero power, at least for one more turn, it's a lot of additional damage we have on board. I mean, he's a 7/7 and he gives my other 2 minions 1 damage as well, so that play leaves 9 additional damage for one more turn on board, which is a lot. Okay, he now plays a lot of small stuff and pings off the True Silver Champion, not the True Silver Champion, the Stormwind Champion again, to kill him off next turn. Okay, now we have lethal, but I just have to find it. We have, let's see, 15 damage on board with the dagger. We can Deadly Poison, that's 2 more, so we are at 17. We can then Blade Fury, which is again 3 more, which would put us up to 20, and Cold Blood is 4 more, that's 24. So we have lethal, I just need to find it, and I know that I did. Okay, we renew our dagger so we can hit and Blade Fury, and now we Cold Blood whatever minion and just go to face. Okay, that was match number 2. As a review, I don't think there were any misplays. We had a lot of options we can choose from, and I think the one thing that might be critical was the turn where he played his Flame Strike, but I think, judging on the information that we had, it was still fine to play there. But he probably thought if he can freeze everything and keep everything for one turn, I might overextend even more and his flame strike would get even more value. And if we hadn't drew Stormwind Champion, he might have been right, but in that case it just traded for the same amount. Okay, if you have any critics or didn't understand the play or want to play more described in detail or saw a misplay, just leave a comment below. I will read it, I will answer it, and I will see you in match number 3. Thanks for watching.